got the early morning start on the day. Let's see, clock, about 6 o'clock. So we're gonna head to the gym first thing in the morning. We got a load at 7:30, so we got a little bit of time. Just letting the truck warm up. This is the best thing about waking up early in the day. No traffic. Got a little flatbed going by. First things first, gotta work out in the morning. This is the first stop of the day, and then, yes, Planet Fitness. And then we will get about our business. Alrighty, we got a good workout in. Just real quick. It's only about an hour, maybe a little bit over, hour 15. But we're gonna go ahead and head to work, get the big truck warmed up, and then go get loaded at the airline. So today, after work, we have a couple of projects. Hopefully, we can get everything installed in time before the sun goes down. But I guess this is the benefit of working out super early before you get your day started. I enjoy it. My body feels better. And if you don't already, I mean, I'd recommend waking up a little bit earlier. You know, at least do, walk around the neighborhood or get some cardio in before you go to work. It really gets your blood flowing. Make sure you got some fuel. Pre-trip your truck. You never know when DOT is going to stop you, especially when hauling chemicals. Now, if you're a truck driver, I know a lot of the over-the-road guys, they don't like wearing boots. They want to wear flip-flops and shit. But if you're a truck driver, get you some comfortable shoes. That way you don't have to pull out your tire thumper every time you do a pre-trip. I mean, I know everyone says, it's good to be comfortable over the road, but I mean, these shoes are plenty comfortable. And I guarantee you, it will save you no matter where you're at. Non-slip shoes. They're really not that expensive. I think I paid like 150 bucks. But I can work in all kinds of conditions, and I don't have to worry about my feet getting crushed. I can kick my tires when I need to. I can jump up and down off the truck and the trailer if I need to, whether I'm pulling a reefer or a flatbed or a step deck. And they pay for themselves, honestly. Alright, so it's the next day compared to the previous shots that I took, and I'm going to install some different towing mirrors because I have a bigger trailer and I tow so many different trailers that the regular Dodge Ram reverse mirrors aren't cutting it, the rear view mirrors. And the ones that I have, they actually have a spotlight and a running feature that I'm just going to tap into my switch panel. So stay tuned and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So it has a catalog for all of the information because they sell different mirrors for different makes and models. Obviously, I have a RAM, installing Chevy style mirrors, so page 2 and 3. And then it even tells you the tools that you're going to need. So Phillips head, flathead, 10mm trim panel removing tools, which is pretty awesome that they provide you with them. I had a set of my own, but I'll go ahead and use theirs for the sake of this video. A drill, a 3 to 4mm pilot drill bit, and then a 7mm drill bit. I think that's if you need to run wires, but in my truck I already have a switch panel, so I'm pretty knowledgeable about how to run wires, especially with kind of my not so mainstream setup for my gauges. I just don't like the pillar. I enjoy having a pillar, and it might be because I'm short, but see, they make mirrors for all different types of vehicles. So page 2, so this is where I'm at. I have a 12. So white plug for puddle light, black plug for the heat, turn signal, down of mirror, left or right, and for the temperature sensor. I'm guessing is if you have a newer truck, the temperature sensor is for it to automatically heat the mirror if it's cold outside. I don't know if mine does, but I've always manually turned it on with the button. So, and then the 3P out plug. So that's for the backup light and the running light. So I have a switch panel, like I said before. So I have running lights for some fog lights that I put in. So I'm just going to wire the running light to that, and then for the backup light, I'm going to put it to a different button. And I actually have stickers for these. I just need to put it on. But if you're doing this on a factory truck without a switch panel, if you don't already have running light and reverse lights, then you have to go to the dealership to get it flashed. So, and then here again, this tells you Chevy style. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and then I will catch y'all guys up here in a second. So these are the tools that I'm gonna be working with. Just yes, it's bent. I work with my tools. So the biggest thing, if you have a RAM like me, is a T or torque spits. I have some Phillips heads, and then I have a couple of flatheads, and then a 10mm. This is a swivel, just for the sake of simplicity. I already had it out. Then I have some wire cutters because I'm going to be extending to the switchback, which is underneath the hood, of the car or the truck. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking off this door panel, and then I'll catch you up when I'm almost done with the other one. All right, so it took a little bit more time than I thought just to get the panel off, but because I'm scared of breaking anything. But these little push pins right here, they have Torx bits on the heads, but honestly, you can just grab a set of needle nose pliers or some wire cutters and just pull them out. They're really just fasteners, and there's 6 of them in total. 2 on the bottom, 2 on the side, and then 2 right here. And then you take your screw out, and you take the little trim piece off of the right by the handle. Make sure you undo this first. Don't destroy it. Dodge electronics are very sensitive. And then the whole thing just comes off. And then this right here is the last thing that you just kind of pull it off of. And this is just to lock and unlock your door. So I'm at the point where I'm going to get the mirror off, and then we're going to swap it out for the new one. There's a little grommet right here. They just use electrical tape. And then there's these 2 plugs. Now I'm going to plug the other ones in and test it to see if either the reverse or the running light works. But I don't think it will, because on these mirrors, my little plastic piece that I have right here, this light, it never turned on whenever I turned on the running lights. So it's just 3 10mm bolts, and then the whole thing will come out. Alright, so the one thing that I noticed a lot of people weren't talking about, because there's a few videos of other people installing these, Boost Auto and a couple of other smaller guys, was exactly how far these extended. So as you can see, that's fully extended moose mirror, and I tried to line it up as close as I could get it. Just try to follow this line right here on my tailgate, and where it sits, seems like they extend out just a little bit further. My issue is that I have an enclosed trailer. It is legal width of a little over 8 feet, and I wanted these mirrors to have better visibility, also for the reverse lights. But if you can see, so these are significantly bigger, and it seems like they will give you a little bit more poke, so to speak. Mine have the puddle lights. These also have a puddle light. So, they also have a seal. So, might be the same manufacturer, but I think it's going to be a worthy upgrade, and it'll stick out just a hair further, but I'm going to have a lot more visibility whenever I'm not towing. And that's the one thing that I always hated about these, is that when these are flipped down, when they're flipped down like this, you can't adjust them left or right, and it makes all the other types of driving very troublesome. So one thing to know before you finish installing and button everything up, go ahead and plug your mirrors back in. Make sure that this is plugged in. This is going to be different. I'm going to mock it up with the hood open to see what it does, but I just wanted to test. Let's see, turn the key once. I just wanted to test, make sure that this is actually going to work. So that lights up, left, right, down, up. So that's that. And then we're going to try the left blinker. And it works. So here's my switchboard. I'm going to test that next. I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood and then plug in this wire. Plug in these wires to each one, see what they do. And both mirrors come with this thing. So I'm going to run this through the little grommet here, straight into the hood, under the hood, and then do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so mirrors installed. Good. Alright, so what I have noticed is the blinker works for the left side, but there's no switchback for these specifically. Boost Auto makes some, but they're like $600 and something if you want switchbacks, so I'm fine with that. I didn't have it before. I'm not going to have it now. Blinkers work fine, but if you have a switch panel like I do, you have to ground the gray wire and put the positive to the plus. Okay, that's how I have my running lights set up. And when you do that, the gray wire and then you ground that other one equals your spotlight. That's for when you're backing up. These also bend out this way. This is just kind of where they lock in place. I'll try the puddle light here in a second. But if you just want for your running lights, put the blue to a power like your other running lights and they'll turn on, although they are not switchbacks. So I'm fine with that. For the cost, these come out to be about $200 and something after taxes, because of these not being like a white strip, but because of my cab lights and all the other orange bits, I don't really care that much. but whenever you switch back in here, turn these off, that will turn off the spotlight. On, off. So I have that running to my running light right now, but I'm going to go ahead and put it to a different button. That way I can just use it whenever I need to, but I'm going to wire them together where they both turn on, left and right. I'm not going to separate them because I think that'd be kind of silly. I already have a cargo light. This is for my trailer lights because the fuse panel for the Ram, it shorted out on a dump trailer that I hooked up, so I just hooked it straight to this. Runs fine. Finding the fuse panels for these Rams, really difficult because they don't make them anymore. People rebuild them. I didn't want to bite that cost yet because I don't need to. Everything else works fine. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up this install, and then I will show y'all how I run these wires. That was just to test fit it, but everything works. So a lot of people think it'll be kind of silly, but they are much bigger, much better for all the different types of trailers that I tow. So this is primarily why I wanted to make a video to begin with on these lights, because there's other videos about them. Running these wires. Okay, so if you don't have a fancy Torx pick set with a ratchet, then you can always use a quarter and then the bit itself to get into there, because you have to take that off so that you can open all of this up to run these wires straight through the grommet, so that every time you open the door they don't pinch, and it looks like shit if you don't run it the correct way. This is just what I do. I just wrap it in some tape, and then boom, it's not going anywhere. So far, this is the longest part of the install. A lot of people, they don't want to take the time to run these wires so that you have your reverse lights and your running lights. Alright, so it's been a couple hours, but I finished it. Everything's installed. I gotta get my cab lights fixed. They're a little faulty, but got my running lights for the fogs. Obviously the one click on the light system, and the fogs and the running lights on the mirrors come on together. And I have it wired up to another button. That's what took the longest, is wiring up the reverse lights and the running lights. If you don't have fog lights, you can. I do this. I tapped into my fog light system so that they could come on together. Now the headlights eventually will be upgraded. Hopefully I can get another sponsorship, but for the meantime, that's how I'm going to run it. Once I get headlights with a daytime running light, I'll wire it up to where I turn on the truck, it'll turn on. But I like having the auxiliary input, because if I don't want them on during the day, we just hit the button and then they go back to that black color and everything turns off. So total install for each mirror, I'll say about 10 minutes, 20 minutes a piece to run the wires. The wires for the running light and the reverse light, because of my system and the way that I wanted them set up, that part took about 2 hours, because I wanted all of the wire system to be tucked. Oh yeah, and the puddle lights too. No, they're not switchbacks. Whenever I get some daytime running lights and they have switchback controllers, maybe I'll wire them all to blink at the same time, but I didn't have switchbacks before, so I'm fine with the blinker just being in the window. So, pretty good install. I'll just go ahead and turn everything on now. These are all the lights I kind of have set up on my truck for the front. Alright, so it's a little after 5, getting ready to leave, doing my pre-trip. Headed to Houston. Just letting the truck warm up for a second. Not too long, it got really cold, but lights are looking good. All my lights are working. The mirror's looking good. Love that. Oh yeah, and the puddle lights. Look how bright that is. Catherine's always jealous because I can get better shots with one hand than she can sometimes. Being a passenger princess.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, damn. Alright guys, getting back from Houston. We dropped off the car. Almost got into a fight. And yeah, that's a wrap. I left about 5:15 this morning and we're back at 5:31 in the afternoon. So not too bad. Auxiliary tank did wonderful. The mirrors turned out great. So much more visibility. But it was a pretty good trip. EGTs were not bad towing, and we were doing about 80. Going with the flow of traffic because traffic does not follow the speed limits here in Texas. And yeah, everything else turned out good. I couldn't have asked for a more smooth trip. And now we are going to go hit the gym. It's getting dark. I hope all of y'all have a wonderful weekend or work week, depending on when y'all are watching this. And thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, please. But as you can see, I'll zoom in. See how much wider that field of view is? I mean, it's much, much wider. And that right there is what I wanted whenever I was towing my 48-foot enclosed trailer, because I have to extend it and I couldn't see as much whenever they were extended out. I just wanted a little bit extra. As you saw, I mean, the Dodge mirror only comes out to like right here, and so that leaves even less room for the wide angle whenever you flip them out. But you're not always flipped out. I mean, some guys will run their trucks like that, and that's all fine and dandy, but I don't like the way it looks. Just wanted to give some final thoughts. It's been a few days, I've been reviewing them, and I will say, with the brand that I went with, the puddle lights work great. We're going to test the heating element before I end the video. These lights are bright enough to give you some help, but they're not going to outshine, say, a light bar or something like that. Alright, so I'm trying to do just one continuous video, so I just kind of splashed some water on there from my cooler. I'll go ahead and turn the key to the on position. Everything will cycle on, but we're just going to press the heat button. And then I might speed this part up. So it does appear that it's drying up the water just a little bit, and that's really what it's meant for. It's kind of to melt and dry up the water or the ice, so that if it's icy, it will take care of, or if it's raining, it'll beat off. But as you can see, all this now is just, it's all dry, and this is the wet part right here. But over here, I splashed it all over the place. It dried up, so yeah, that was the last little bit that I wanted to do. Enjoy y'all's week, and God bless.